Noisy Pixel.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to another Noisy Pixel Discussions. Today we are getting together to talk about the August edition of State of Play, Sony's digital little streaming event. I'm your host, Azar Lopez. Joining me today, Kevin Mai.
Hello.
I was hoping I would say your name right.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. And Mark Damati.
What is going on, nerds? We're back to talk some more.
I would like to preface this stream by saying that I had my wisdom teeth pulled, so I'm a little drugged up right now. So if things get off the rails, you can just blame it on the DRUGS. Now,
I was glad you spelled it right.
That could have been terribly wrong. So let's start off. We have a Hitman 3 VR trailer announcement. This basically quickly showed us a look at seeing Agent 34 or something like that. Whatever, the agent from his eyes. Is this something you guys are into? Some Mission Impossible stuff?
Have you guys ever played a Hitman game?
I haven't personally, but it looks very cool, especially in VR.
The last Hitman game I played was probably on PS2. I'll admit it right here, right now. It looks good. I've watched a few speed runs, but it'd be interesting to play in VR, only because this is a third-person game, and usually you rely on kind of your peripherals to watch other characters, and stay out of line of sight. But if you don't have that and you're only working from your eyesight, it may make things a little more challenging,
I mean, possibly. I was going to ask you, you think this will translate well? And I didn't know this was a third person. So I feel like it's going to offer a whole new experience in that sense, because it's almost, again, if you're used to seeing around walls and then they throw you in a first person, everything's going to kind of seem new. So that's a cool little tidbit to know based on the development of this. I'm glad to see VR still being talked about. I know it's still early, but I'm just glad these developers are still taking risks upon this new technology.
Yeah. The interesting thing about VR is that I rarely regret buying stuff, and I actually regret buying a PlayStation VR because I've used it probably 5 times total since I purchased it.
Yeah,
so
that's the problem.
Seeing something like this is pretty exciting for me, just because finally I can maybe use it again and just collecting dust right now. Kevin, is this something that you're interested in?
I got a Windows mixed reality headset, so I don't. If it comes to PC, I'd be interested in it. But a lot of the AAA experiences are sometimes they're stuck on PlayStation VR and they don't come over to PC. So that's kind of frustrating. But
I think Square Enix really likes money, so if there's money involved in it, I'm sure they'll bring it to PC.
Yeah.
So look out for more on that. They just showed some gameplay. Now moving on, we have Braid Anniversary Edition. Kevin, have you ever played Braid?
I haven't, but looking at, I do want to talk about how they updated the visuals. They redid some assets and stuff, but it kind of looks like they just threw it through an upscaler and blurred it a little bit. I don't think it looks very good.
The thing about Braid is that it's always been a pretty game, there's never been you've never heard the argument, oh, Braid is this ugly game, back in the day it kind of slingshotted the indie scene on Xbox Arcade. So seeing it again on better hardware, if it's just the same thing with some added commentary and stuff, I don't know if I would personally go through this game again, but I would urge anybody that hasn't to give it a shot. The narrative is, I think, Jonathan Blow is the developer who worked on The Witness. So if you've heard of that game, you know about the puzzling stuff that guy likes to put you through, and Braid is a lot of that. But honestly, I don't think this game needed a remaster. Mark, are you going to be playing this game?
I will not be playing this game, although I do like the art a lot. It is pretty funky. The depth perception that they use in a 2D space is always fun to see when with these platformers, because I don't know, I'm not like a big platform dude, but I like to see people stretch the limits of the design of them. So I caught that. This caught my eye. Again, I don't know. I never heard of this, but it seems like this is a pretty popular little indie game out there right now. So I'm out of the loop as usual, and we'll leave it to the nerds to take care of this.
It's pretty interesting if you look at the trailer too. Like they'll show like a hill, and they inserted some stairs with a canopy and stuff, and
Yeah, the
just
stairs
redid the
look cool.
environments. Just redid the environments and dealing with time. The whole idea that this game kind of deals with time is already interesting because now they're going back, and it's just like full circle, and it's very in the universe of the game that this title would receive a remastered. So, I mean, Kevin, if you want to get your hands on this is definitely something that we could help you with, and so you
Yeah.
can finally get the chance to play Braid and experience this game. But it's
Yeah,
always
the
been
time
beautiful.
mechanic has always been interesting, and it definitely was one of the big like Xbox Live first indie games that really kickstarted indies the way they are now. So it's cool to see it's getting an anniversary remaster.
Yeah. Moving on, we had some gameplay of the Pathless. Mark, you saw this game at PAX East. What did you think about
Yes.
kind of looking back at it now and seeing more gameplay of it?
Seeing more gameplay, it was nice because I remember vividly watching the game and I was a little confused, and it was still very bare bones at the time. But now looking at the video, they offer a lot more things, like new things that they show. So such as like secrets, and it just shows a little more into at PAX it just seemed like they were running around shooting these darts, but now we kind of see more exploration as aspects of the game in the gameplay. And I
Mm.
also really love the bright colors and the color schemes that they use, especially with this, I guess, this new boss that they presented for the first time. At least I think for the first time.
Yeah, I
But
haven't
they
seen
use
this
these, yeah,
box.
like they use these super bright reds, and I don't know. I was just into the design. It looks really interesting. I think it's going to be a popular one.
Yeah, me too. I hats off to Annapurna Interactive, the publisher who's been kind of nabbing these great indie games. This one looks like pretty good adventure. I feel like I need to know more about what the characters' means are. Like, what are they doing this for? Other than that, I really like the stamina system. How it relies on you to aim at these little targets, and that kind of boosts you through this world. Super fast, really interesting. I'm excited to see more. Kevin, what did you think about this game?
It looks kind of very Breath of the Wild esque with its
Mm,
gameplay. They have some puzzle elements, and it's an open world in which you explore and you go to these towers. And it
mm,
reminded me a lot of Breath of the Wild, but with more of like a stark aesthetic. I do have to wonder how dense the world is and how large the world is,
mm.
because if there's not much to do, like at the very beginning of the trailer, I'm like, what's the point? You're just hitting these darts. But
Yeah. I
but
think I honestly think that's a huge part of it. Like they want you to put you in this huge place and have you get around, but you're right, there has to be something, to do in between. But they like the speed in which you kind of get around and the maneuverability. I think they focus on that a lot. Um, I kind of like this idea where you see something off in the distance and it takes you a little while to get there, but you make your way there, but along the way you find other stuff to do. And I'm hoping this game kind of has that element, kind of very much like Breath of the Wild, where you're making your way somewhere, but then you get sidetracked.
That's the best though. Those side
Yeah,
quests.
yeah, especially if they mean something.
It seems like
I
it's a
like.
rhythm, like very rhythm game. Like they want you to stay in a rhythm of landing these shots. So
Mhm,
I think that's, again, like you said, going to be a big part of it, and we'll see how they take that gameplay and mix it up a bit.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Any closing thoughts on this game, Kevin?
looks cool.
Looks cool.
Yeah,
The seal,
not
the
much to
seal of
say.
approval. The seal of
I
approval.
think it's still a little early to say what's up. I still feel like I haven't seen much.
Mm,
Yeah.
it looks pretty. It has our attention. Um, Next up, we had an indie game from a Chinese developer called Ano Mutationum. Mutationum. Hanno Mutation. Got it. Posted. This is like this like waifu action game where this cute little pixelated girl runs through this world, and she gets into trouble as cute girls do. Uh, she fights other kind of mech characters. I don't know. I haven't seen this game a lot, guys. But so before I go into my thoughts, like let me know what you guys think about seeing this. Kevin, have you seen this game before?
No,
What did you think about it? What were your?
it didn't really stand out to me.
What a gamer! What a freaking gamer!
I thought this looked cool as someone that doesn't play many games. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like there was some maneuver. It seemed 2D, but then you were able to dive into like a 3D almost aspect to it. Still maintains like some sort of action 2D slashing kind of mechanic. But it seems like there's some platforming, there's some jumping, there's some puzzles. I don't know. I think it seems like a fun little indie game.
So they switch between 2D and 3D level designs, and I think they highlight mostly their the variety of enemies that they can throw at you and your combos between those enemies. So they give you a lot of tools to chain together a ton of attacks, and that's kind of like, and then you can change your costume and stuff, of course. Yeah, it showed a little bit of a teaser at the end there of like what the actual story is. So I'm interested to see more of why this girl is on this quest. Very cyberpunk theme. Kevin, I'm guessing you're not a fan of the cyberpunk theme?
I like Cyberpunk. It's just, I mean, it's 2D platformer. I don't know. The game didn't draw my attention.
You're gonna have to do more, Anno Mutation M, if you want Kevin's attention. You're gonna have to try.
So the pixel art of the main character in like the world, it looks cool.
Definitely, it's gonna fall onto the gameplay on this one and how that kind of marries with the aesthetic. I didn't really watch this one. I kind of looked at it from the side, but Aeon Must Die. Did you guys care about this game at all? It looks cool. It looks like a Saturday morning cartoon.
When the trailer first came on, I was thinking that it'd be like another Gravity Rush. So I got excited, and then when they showed the gameplay, I was like, no. But
it looks kind of like arena fighter desk thing. Like it happens all on one screen. I don't know. Like, Mark, did you think this game looked cool?
I mean, I thought it looked cool. I thought the trailer got me hyped up. They were showing all these cool cinematics and this like electronic metal song or something. I don't know. Things were just going down. And then they showed like one or two parts of the gameplay, which just seemed like Mortal Kombat in cartoon form.
I think that's the problem. I didn't know what was cinematics and what was gameplay. Like I didn't know.
I think it's all cinematics. There's no way this is gameplay. It was very cool. I was into it. It got me jamming. But
the music was definitely pumping me up for sure.
Marketing on point. Let's just say that.
I like the design. You know those stupid like hover bikes that Cyberpunk people like to put in their stuff? Yeah. That game has it, and I really like them. So anytime I see them, I'm just like, that's fucking cool. I just think hover bikes or what any kind of cyberpunk-esque bikes I'm just all about.
I was getting that Captain Falcon vibe for a second.
I don't like the name Aeon Must Die because it reminds me too much of Killer Must Die. I don't know. It's just a bad game. So bad name. And then quickly Genshin Impact showed a trailer. We've been hearing so much of this game, though. I've talked my head off about it. Kevin, I don't know. How are your views on this game? Have you seen it at all?
Which one?
Genshin Impact.
No, this is the first time I've seen it. It looks. I actually, you can really tell what the gameplay was like from the trailer. It just they just kind of showed the like anime art style and yeah.
This is that game that they showed at China Joy, and people brought all their Switches and Breath of the Wild and pretty much booed it because it's pretty much a Breath of the Wild clone. And at this show, someone brought their PS4 and broke it in front of the booth that this game was showing at in hatred of Sony taking Breath of the Wild. Or the idea was that, or they were saying that It was a Breath of the Wild clone, and it was all Sony's fault. But Sony had no play in this, and this game is coming to Nintendo Switch. It is a free-to-play kind of gotcha game, action RPG style. It's coming to mobile too and PC, but I have a few previews of it on the site. It uses elements though in an interesting way, and they just showed some characters in this one and some new battle animations. But like I said, we've just launched the game already. Launch the freaking game already. Mark, do you care about this at all?
Nope, I do not care one bit. Although we did play it for a little bit, and I had to say I had a good time. I mean, there was a lot of talking, too much talking at one point, which I, understand with these open world games. You're gonna spend hours in them. You got to learn the characters.
Yeah.
But I thought the game was pretty fun. I didn't know it was free. Didn't seem like a free game to me. But
Yeah.
I thought it was well put together. I mean, it did have that Breath of the Wild vibe. I felt like those like donkey like enemies were like Breath of the Wild Zelda like.
Mm.
But I don't know. It was bright and green and it looked cool. That's all I gotta say. I'm not gonna ever play it again.
The Breath of the Wild aspects like interested me, but I'm just wondering how much of the like waifu gotcha aspects of it will come into play, because I don't really play mobile games because I can't stand the like gotcha grind. So yeah, if my interest in the game is solely dependent on the gotcha. If it's not that egregious, then I'd probably play it. If it is, then I won't.
It's mostly that style where if you pay, you'll just speed things up a little bit. It's that kind of idea. I believe I wasn't able to put money into it from the times I played it, so we'll definitely see at launch because it's coming this fall. So I have some rapid fire ones for you guys, real quick. Just a quick kind of response. We have the trailer for Crash Bandicoot 4. Kevin.
It looks like Crash Bandicoot.
Mark.
Bring back the GameCube version.
We had Vader Immortal. Kevin.
The gameplay looks like a lot of fun, but I don't care about Star Wars.
We'll come back to that later. Mark.
Is it any different from the current VR one that's out, Star Wars game that's out?
I don't know if there was a VR one.
There's totally a Star Wars VR game where you stand in one spot and just like force the people around or something.
Yeah, I don't know. This one you have is Vader.
I don't care. It seems like the same game. Skip. Next.
We have Control, the second expansion pack.
Second expansion pack.
Well, the first one already launched. So this is the second one. It's a new story content. Kevin, do you care?
I've been meaning to pick up Control, haven't yet.
Mark, do you care?
I do care. I think it looks pretty. I do care. Can I play it? I can't. So I'm going to rely on someone else's opinion here.
Well, since I reviewed the game and the first expansion, I will most likely review this expansion. So be sure to wait for my official opinion.
I get all my news from my own home.
You don't have to go far to get your news. And then we have Godfall, more like Snoozefall, if you ask me.
What is Godfall?
I was not paying attention when the Godfall was playing. I was like, this looks so generic.
It looks like a Gearbox game, and then lo and behold, it is a Gearbox game.
I don't know what we're talking about. What is this game?
Godfall. It was the last thing they showed in the presentation.
Is it the chess game?
No, that's Auto Chess. That's a Brock game.
The Godfall.
Godfall is the last game that they showed, and I asked, "Hey Mark,"
Gearbox.
I was like, "Hey Mark, does this game look cool to you?" And you're like, "Yeah,
Oh, this is the Dark Souls looking game.
yeah."
All right. Yeah, I like it. I like the mechanic. All right, that's my type of style.
You know who really likes these types of looter games is Brian. Brian would love Godfall. He loves the loot. He loves the grind.
I'm not into the loot though. I like the skill that it needs. Like I like the brute puzzles, like when just you have to get through like one tough enemy that like requires just time to learn him. I don't know. I'm not into the loot. I'm into the game.
That's what always got me about like Destiny and Destiny 2 is where you would just die, get revived, and kind of get this rhythm going. I don't know. I hope it's not something like that because I'm just a little tired.
I just like difficult games.
Yeah, stuff that'll take some time and take skill. So that's why I stopped playing Call of Duty, because 12-year-olds are beating me, and I was like, man, if a 12-year-old can be good at this, I should be playing some harder games. So I put in a visual novel. Let's see
Yeah.
a 12-year-old. Let's see a 12-year-old read 1,000 words.
It's true. Throw him in on Atelier Riser or something, man. He'll never get out.
Yeah, fuckers. And that's the way the news goes, guys.
We're not gonna talk about the bug game.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about bug snacks. What are we doing?
Snacks. I didn't watch it. It's by
You didn't
the
watch
it's by the developers of Octodad Deadliest Catch, which was my first
Oh, really?
PS4 game. It was the first PS4 game that I played ever in my life. Was Octodad.
How did that go?
I played it at Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, and I snuck in. I didn't even buy the ticket to Comic Con. I snuck into San Diego Comic Con and played Octodad. That's my story. But now I'm seeing the developers come back with bug snacks. How did you guys feel about it? Did it
I honestly have no idea what the purpose of the game was. I didn't think I saw. I thought at first I thought it was like a photography game. Like you have to take pictures of these bugs, and then like they were catching the bugs, and I didn't know if you have to like make a farm, if there's just some. I was just very lost, honestly. It was a trip.
I think this is the kind of game you randomly launch when you're very bored and have a blast with, but I'm not like watching the trailers is not exciting, but I'm sure the gameplay is fun.
You would hope. You would hope.
You would only hope. And I guess that's, what we didn't see was Wild Arms. We did not see.
We did see Temtem though. Temtem.
God, Temtem. I just like saying the name. I don't give a crap about the game. But now that you're saying it over and over again, guess who's gonna review Temtem on PS4?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no Legend of Dragoon and no Wild Arms, which is a sad day. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Well, how about closing thoughts? Mark, what are your closing thoughts?
Oh man, you got me off guard here. I like pretty colors on games I can't play because I do not own a PlayStation device. How about that? It's just sad watching this sometimes. Like most of the games, I'm alright just letting them go. And then some, they throw in like a control in there. I'm like, dang, I wish I could play that.
It's on PC.
Is
on
it?
PC?
Yeah.
I'll get you a code, dude. Don't even worry.
You get me a code. All right. I'll take it.
Okay. Kevin, what are your closing thoughts?
A lot of the games look good, but there weren't a lot of games I'd personally go out and buy.
And my closing thoughts are, kind of just wish Bandai Namco would reveal more about Digimon Survive. That's all.
Just pick up the bug game.
Yeah, go get bug snacks. Or Temtem. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Listening means a lot. Have a great week. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.